Good day, my name is Tinita Gerber and I'm a Labour and BE Legal Advisor at the SEESA Port Elizabeth branch.
Good day, my name is Leze Jonker and I'm also a BE and Labour Legal Advisor at our Port Elizabeth branch. Today we will be discussing joint ventures as a safe and viable option for entities who are caught in a situation where they have considered all possible options for becoming BE compliant, or those specific tenders which require a joint venture for the project. So Tinita, before we get too excited about sharing this option, let's firstly explain what a joint venture is.
Sure, Leze. So a joint venture is a business agreement between two or more entities, whereby the parties agree to join their resources in order to achieve a specific business goal. Therefore, this joint venture will be an entity on its own, separate and apart from the parties entering into this agreement. Therefore, this JV will require its own BE certificate whenever tendering or entering into a contract that requires a BE certificate. The level of this BE certificate will then be determined based on a combination of the statuses of the parties entered into this agreement. However, in order for your BE legal advisor to be able to determine this rating, we'll firstly require a few documents. Leze, maybe you'll be able to shed some light on which documents will then be required for a rating of this JV.
Of course, Tinita. The following documents will be required for obtaining a rating of a joint venture: the BE certificates of all the parties entering into the joint venture, as well as the joint venture agreement. It's as simple as that.
Oh, really? And then what about the documents referring to the turnover, such as the financial statements? How will we then determine on which scorecard this JV will be rated?
That's a good question, Tinita. The turnovers of all the parties entering into the joint venture will be combined in order to determine which scorecard will be applicable to the joint venture. This will determine whether the joint venture will be rated as a QSE entity or a generic entity. Therefore, if two or more entities enter into an unincorporated joint venture, the respective scores will be weighted according to their proportionate share in the joint venture and added together for a combined score out of 100. Let me give you a quick breakdown of the scores of a joint venture. If the measured entity is 100% Black-owned EME or QSE, they will be required to obtain 100 points in order to achieve a Level 1 BE status. However, if the entity is a 51% Black-owned EME or QSE, they will be required to obtain 95 points in order to achieve a Level 2 BE status. A 51% Black-owned EME company or entity will therefore obtain 85 points in order to achieve a Level 4 BE status. However, generic enterprises as well as QSE enterprises who have less than 51% Black ownership will receive their current score on the BE certificate.
This is great, Leze. So if I understand correctly, this scoring allows both generic entities as well as QSEs with less than 51% Black ownership to utilize their current BE certificate whenever tendering under this unincorporated JV. So therefore, after compiling all the documents as we've just discussed, and your BE certificate is issued, the BE certificate for this joint venture will always be tender specific. This means that they will always indicate both the name as well as the number referring to the specific tender that you are responding to. As per normal, this BE certificate will only be valid for 12 months since date of verification or date of issue. And very important, as we've just mentioned, this will only be applicable for the specific project.
That's correct, Tinita. Therefore, JVs are a great way to increase your BE scores by joining forces with Black-owned companies and increasing the points scored under the ownership element on the relevant scorecard. We hope this has shed some light with regards to joint ventures as a safe and viable option in becoming BE compliant.
Yes, Leze. And should anyone require more information, please do not hesitate to contact your closest SEESA branch, whereafter your designated BEE legal advisor will not only be able to advise you on how to obtain maximum points on this scorecard, they'll also be able to assist the company in obtaining a BEE certificate for this JV. Thank you.